Howdy, you two. Hi, Diego. How's my little buddy doing today? Come on, let's go cook something up with Grandpa. I'm gonna go over how you do low and slow on your Kettle grill. That's right, I finally figured it out. I used this Royal Oak natural wood charcoal from Cabela's. I really liked that. It's really easy to control your temperatures. And I used it in a combination with barbecue pellets down here. And basically what I did is I covered a lot of the holes that were in between the briquettes with those pellets, and that kept it from burning so hot. It created a lot more smoke, and I was able to actually smoke the ribs, whereas before I couldn't get the temperature below 350 degrees. So I found that by using these pellets and some ash or powder from the bag, I was able to fill up those cracks but not snuff out the fire, and basically by regulating the flame here, get enough heat to cook on the other side of the grill there. And so today we're going to start the fire over here because that's where the grease drippings were at, and we're going to burn those off, and they'll create new ones on this side, and we'll just keep doing that back and forth until we have to clean our grill out completely. The cool thing about this is you can just knock your ashes down into this can and pull the can out and dump it. So that's kind of a cool feature for these Kettle grills, I didn't realize. This is my first year cooking on a Kettle grill, so we're going to set up a fire over here. I did have the opportunity to use this kind of whiskey barrel charcoal, but it also has smoke blocks in it. And there's the pellets. So I didn't really want to use a new product in trying to show you all how I set up my kettle for low and slow. So instead I'm going to use my Royal Oak briquettes, something that's new for me, and try and demonstrate the same process I used with the lump charcoal, which I really do prefer the lump charcoal for the most part. Just the briquettes you get at Trader Joe's are really nice. This is a perfect example of how indirect heat over here, meat over here, heat over here, and when you put the lid on it, it creates kind of an oven factor, and that's how you can do an indirect heat on your Kettle grill. Alright, I'm just going to put a couple of raw briquettes over here on the left. Like that. Get some hot ones over here next to them. Nice gloves. Anyways, that is basically a bed of coals that's your heat base over here. And to that we want to add all these wood pellets, especially in the back here, and that'll just kind of create a smoking atmosphere and cut off some of the oxygen. The oxygen up here will still be good, so we'll get a good continuous burn as long as we don't let our coal ash build up too much. And it's okay to let those hot coals drop down in the ash bucket. They'll just provide a little more radiant heat down below. No big deal. Anyway, so I'm just taking my leftovers from my lump charcoal and my wood pellets that I used yesterday on the ribs. I'm just going to put them over there. And as you can see, that's already doing a pretty good number on smoking. And we'll go in and prepare the ribs now, and by the time that's happened, that smoking situation, that flame will be gone. And we should have a nice even heat that'll last a few hours. I want to make sure the grill is facing this way so I can apply more charcoal if I need to. And once again, that is why I like to use charcoal, is because it doesn't have that bitter flavor you get off of a briquette. although some briquettes are much better flavored than others. Royal Oak appears to be right there along the class of Kingsford, which is a very heavy flavor that I don't like to use in my low and slow cooking. Thank you for watching. See you later, YouTube. Bye, Diego. Alright, so as you can see down in there now, the briquettes are burning on their own, and they're putting off a bad odor, as briquettes often do. The ones that you get at Trader Joe's tend to not put off such a bad odor, but that's why you got to let these burn till they turn a little ashen, a little ashed over, and then once they're at that stage, you will be able to utilize them for cooking. Alright, so as you can see now, the briquettes are grayed over and really going good, so I'm just going to dump those up against the edge. And that's a little more than what I really wanted to do. More briquettes than I wanted going, so I'm just going to put the lid on and the grill on and let these burn down a bit before I put the wood pellets over the top, and then we'll have our ribs going. Alright, I had an interruption right as I put these coals on. And I basically put the coals on, and then I put the lid on, and I closed the lid without any air pockets, so it would keep the fire barely going. As a result, we've lost almost all of our coals here. This way. Now we got to get that ash out of there so we have air pockets to breathe properly. So we're just going to scrape some of this ash down into the ash bucket where it belongs. Then I'm going to lay some new coals down here and get these little other ones underneath them first, and we'll start this whole process of starting my barbecue all over again. And this time we'll do it the competition style, where you use already burning briquettes to light non-burning briquettes. And this is an apple switch that I happen to like using to poke my coals around with. Now we made an air pocket. We'll redial the grill so these coals get air, thus starting them off again. And we'll work on getting the ash out of here somewhat. We want an ash pocket, an air pocket, to get these coals going. And the cool thing about briquettes is they just kind of naturally make their own air pocket. Now I'm just going to put the lid on here and let it go for about a half an hour. Alright, step one. I take an empty Knox Spice Yummy chicken container, and I take my garlic powder, onion powder, and where the heck did that bottle go? My new Knox Spice. You know, I've been looking at this and I don't see what kind it is. It just says Knox Spice Dry Rub, Made in USA, Salt-Free, BBQ Dry Rub, Quality You Love, Spice Company. All natural, the original, authentic, but it doesn't call it some sort of a type of barbecue dry rub like their cracked pepper or their chipotle. So I thought he referred to this as their Jamaican, but no, they've got Jamaican jerk. So anyways, this new bottle that doesn't seem to be having description that I can see, I took that and these, I mixed them together, and I'm now pouring them into a bag. I'm pouring them from a bag into a shaker so it'll be easier to coat the mustard evenly, which is something I was realizing was kind of more difficult than I had imagined, was getting an even powder on the mustard. And I used the basting brush to kind of gently brush that around evenly yesterday, and I'd rather not spend the extra time. And that's it, folks. We are ready to go. We are going to barbecue these low and slow. We got a nice healthy amount of smoke going. We'll put the vents on this other side here. And as you see, it comes out the bottom too. So we know we're getting a lot of good smoke. And a kettle, you know, you want a little more smoke than you would probably want in an offset. It just doesn't seem to get in as good. Anyways, that's how you can use your Kettle barbecue as a low and slow offset smoker. I hope you enjoyed this and have time to try it at home. Just keep building up the coals and the wood pellets or chips in the back, and keep that going every hour or two as you'll determine, and you can do many hours of low and slow cooking. Thank you for watching, rating, commenting, subscribing, and telling all your friends about us.